아니에요. 난 안 미국 사람, 뉴질랜드 사람이에요. 두 번 말했어. Ah, hi. Didn't see you there. That's right. Coming live from South... Well, not live. This is recorded. You know what I mean. Live from South Korea. Welcome to 7 Days of Flesh and Blood with me, Chris Bewley. It's true. This week we have the King of Guardian, the showstopper of all showstoppers, No, it's not Shawn Michaels. It is Cayle McCreath. So, stay tuned for some hot, straight off the press, amazing information, maybe a lull or two, but most importantly, let's get to, we get to pick the brain and hear some thoughts of Cayle. Talking about flesh and blood, talking about Blitz, and of course, talking about the Guardian class. So, thank you very much for coming on the show, Cayle. I really appreciate it. He's a busy, busy man. And we'll see you soon. Maybe on TTS, but maybe I'll just watch. All right, enjoy. Cayle McCreath, I finally got hold of you. Hey, bro, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad, eh? Yourself?
Oh, well, very, very well for day 7 out of 14 being locked in a room in a different country with a different culture and a different language. But hey, dreams do come true.
It's about time, you know. How long have you been working for it?
Well, between 3 and 5 years, you could say. But hey, enough about me. Let's talk about you. Like all great shows, speeches, presentations, I think we should start with a joke. So, you know Ian from Radio Reflex, right?
Yeah.
And you know Cayle McCreath. That's yeah. So here's knock knock.
Who's there?
What do you call it when Cayle has to provide some type of protection for Ian if someone's trying to like beat up Ian?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. Hey?
Guardian.
Oh, here we go. Fuck.
All right, welcome to 7 Days of Flesh and Blood. And first question, how have your last 7-ish days of Flesh and Blood been? Yeah, what have you been doing?
The last 7 days, I wish there was a bit of flesh and blood. You know, we've recently gone back into level 3 here in Auckland. I've just been working way too much. You know, like half my day has been going to work and just looking for spoilers that are coming out about the upcoming set. You know, so I don't know, a bit of a hazard on the road. Probably maybe 20, 30 accidents a day waiting to happen. But
no more than usual, though, right?
Oh, I don't know. Have you seen me drive, mate?
I've been in the car and damn, it was an experience, I tell you what.
Haven't died yet.
Exactly. Well, I was gonna talk about the sort of last weekend's Wellington stuff. Maybe, but I reckon forget about that. Let's talk about Mangle, Sledge of Ampelheim, Stamp of Authority, or anything else. So, go.
Well, I seen Mangle. You know, it was pretty interesting. I think anytime you get the chance to take out a Teklo Heart or, you know, like an opposing tectonic plating, it's going to be good. I think it's a bit too cute to pair it with the buckling blow, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. You know, in hindsight, we now know that there's a thing called temper, which, you know...
Is that a new keyword, is it?
Yeah, so it's kind of like battle worn, but the equipment gets to stay on the field for the first use, but the second one it dies. So I think being able to take that off Runeblade will be a big thing. But yeah, as for the hammer, I'm not too sure yet. You know, costing 4, you're basically putting up 2 cards to pay for it. But the weird thing about it is it's not limited to once per turn. Seeing how we can generate resources or action points, it'll you know, be interesting to see what else we get, make it work.
Of course, the first thing that I think of, being the Guardian expert that I am, is Hummel, does that have a place in there, or I don't know? What are your first thoughts on the weapon?
Oh, it's kind of awkward because I think Anathos kind of does the same thing already. Like if you want to pay 2 cards and like swing with the weapon, you can do that. The advantage that Anathos has is that if you're down to 1 card in hand, you can still swing the weapon.
Yeah, you don't have to pay like 2 because it's 4 for the
4.
new
It's pretty taxing. Yeah. So
okay.
I mean, for that to happen, like if you're defending with 3 cards, what are you going to do? Like not swing a hammer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is very expensive, even for Guardian.
Yeah,
well, what about like you published a brief but awesome article the other day on Fab Empire, didn't you? Tell us about Stamp of Authority.
Oh, look, I think that card's going to be quite good for Guardian moving forward. A couple of reasons. Guardian lacks the powerful turn 1 play, being able to start off your turn by making a token, playing the aura. You get to play a powerful card in the arsenal and then draw 5 cards. If your opponent has 4 cards to work with, you can block with 2 or 3 cards and still attack with a crush. So it's pretty good. But I don't think it's the type of card that's going to really define the class. I think 3 cost, 3 pitch, 3 defense. I think you might play it once every 2 games or something, but when you do, it'll be pretty big.
Yeah, it seems more like maybe like some type of support rather than a pillar of an archetype.
Yeah, well,
there's truth to that.
Guardian's all about setting up for a big play. I mean, if you're going to set up for a big play, you need to make sure that you can do it without taking too much damage to do so. Otherwise you're just trading, life. The ability to have a 5-card hand means you can defend with 2 or 3 cards and still have that 2 to. So I think Guardian's all about the big play and just making sure you can do it without taking too much damage back. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, speaking of setting up for big turns, I can't remember the name of it, but there's another card. It's got 10 attack. It's got a yellow line at the top of it. What's going on there?
Oh, that's looking for a turn 1 crush and take out their induction chamber. I don't care what else it does, as long as I can look at the top 5 cards and take that out. I don't care.
Yeah, because it says like you can take out all of the same name. It's not like the new brute one smash and just target something. It's take them all.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I would have liked to have smash and Guardian, but I think Guardian, as I said before with Stamp, you need that powerful turn 1 play. If you can open up in a deck that has like 1 powerful attack with 3 blues, you can just straight away dominate the attack. And, you can look at the top 5 cards and know what their next turn is because you're seeing everything.
And you get to reorder it as well. So you can, not only do you kind of cranial extraction them, but you can set up, that's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think the order is important as much. I mean, unless you're playing against Dash and they got their 1 Command and Conquer on top. You can have mind games here. You can be like, it doesn't matter, and just roughly put it back. But I think just getting that knowledge of what they have and taking out a card, imagine if you're playing against a Drone of Brutality control deck and you can exile a drone on turn 1. That's pretty big.
Where's the win con now, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, that's very cool. There's of course, Guardian is about these big attacks building up to stuff, but it seems like all of the classes now, from what we've seen of Crucible so far, there's even more ways to build the decks. So that seems exciting moving forward.
Yeah, I think judging by the equipment that have been released, you're going to see a lot of decks move away from the traditional, tunic. A lot of decks at the moment they're just doing the whole trade-off, like trading card for card and just trying to get like a life point advantage. The new equipment kind of allows you to, set up and go for a big turn. Now, a big turn ideally is when you're you'll take 7 or 8 damage or something to set up your 20 power attack. The 2 brute claws in particular are good for that. The Runeblade chest that lets you just play everything. It's really going to be interesting. I think we're going to see the format speed up, and we're going to see players play to 1 or 2 big turns a game.
Yeah, it's very, very, very exciting stuff. It's cool. Hey, well, next question. last year you went into the Legend Story Studios office, and there is a video out there. I'll link that. Hey,
Yeah.
it's a good time, but I'll link the video in part of this one. So you played against one of the designers and very well-known card game player, Jason Chung. How was that experience, and what did you learn from that?
First of all, Jason is a freak. Like, that guy has a brain that's like, aliens haven't visited yet, apparently. That's because he's already here, mate. Like, his brain is just...
They're among us.
Oh, yeah, he is. It was a good experience. Like, I went in thinking, I've been playing this game for a month or two. Like, this guy's, been working on developing the game. I was quite surprised that the game's as close as it was. Watching back, I can tell that I played a bad deck. I made a lot of misplays. It was pretty good in hindsight, looking at it.
Oh,
but,
yeah, well, of course.
It doesn't look good when you're on a camera and you're dropping games left and right. But
wow, the game even today is still in its infancy. But back then, like you say, you were playing a couple of months, and you almost took down one of the developers.
Oh, I think he was pulling back, eh? Jason likes to make it look like it's close and then just next level you.
Yeah, he really does live on another planet in a good way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, yeah. So it's no secret Jason was a platinum level pro in Magic the Gathering, and you have also played a lot of successful finishes and a lot of control decks, particularly in Magic. Can you tell us contrasts and comparisons between that game and Flesh and Blood?
Okay, a couple of things. I believe at one point Jason would have been the best Magic player on the planet. I just think being in New Zealand, pretty big call. But I just think being in New Zealand too far away from that competitive scene kind of held him back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of me playing control decks or anything, I don't know how to attack and do combat, so I just let my opponent exhaust himself, and then I'm like, okay, I can do this now. So being able to transfer that skill set from Magic to Flesh and Blood has been pretty easy.
That's cool.
In terms of making the adaptation to the game, it's been really easy to switch over because not just Magic but other games as well. Just seeing all the best parts of games come together into Flesh and Blood just makes it really easy to pick up and run with it.
It really is the best parts of all the other games, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the that random variance factor that Magic has. The community
With the
itself.
land system?
Oh yeah, fucking horrible. But even the community in Flesh and Blood, they're a lot more down to earth. They're people that actually communicate with you. They're not just people that are just constantly grinding value as if it's a job or something. But,
sorry to interrupt. Speaking just really quickly about that community. Not only are you a massive part of that, and it's amazing. It's amazing seeing really cool parts of the community. But even the other week, when you and I and everyone, a lot of people were down in Wellington, and man, the amount of conversations that I was in or overheard of people just expressing their happiness and gratitude of the type of people in the Flesh and Blood community. It's a group of good people. It's a group of good people. Why is that?
It's a bit of a tough one. I just think when a new game gets launched, you get a lot of people that are a bit hesitant to jump in and pick up a new game because they don't know if it's going to survive or anything like that. But I think, history shows that anyone that's willing to take a chance and explore something new is going to reap the benefits. I think everyone that's picked up Flesh and Blood, they're realizing, it's a great game, and all of a sudden they're like, well, this is a hell of a lot better than anything I've been doing. So, they're excited by it. They like the fact that they can talk to like-minded people, and just the community based on that alone is the reason why people are playing the game. So nothing but positiveness.
Yeah, I think you really hammered home the point in there. And it's people that I'm on fire today, right? It's people that take a lot of risks, and like you say, that is that like-minded mindset of a bunch of just open-minded kind of growth mindset type of people. I think.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Well,
All right,
maybe,
well, here's the next one. So yeah, you've been writing a couple of articles recently, and
oh,
another one that
I
you.
can't write. Like, you can probably tell that by the articles. I'm basically bloody inbred.
Well, bro, like if my whatever my qualifications are, if that means anything, let me say that the content and the ideas inside of writing in general is much more important than full stops and punctuation. Anyway, what we're talking about is you recently wrote this awesome article about the Blitz format with Bravo, and you've also been playing it. You even played a game today online, didn't you? So tell us about
Yeah, might have, might have.
Bravo.
So I think Blitz in particular is really interesting. It kind of it's a
I
sped
love.
up version of constructed. Initially, people are like, "Oh, I'll just take a copy out of every card that's in the deck or whatever." But you're finding that you're playing a lot like a draft format where you're defending aggressively and just setting up for one turn. So being able to just do like the most powerful thing in a short space of time, you just action from turn one to the last
That's
turn.
awesome. Yeah,
I mean, for anyone looking to get into the game, it's a perfect format. Like,
I think so.
you get to play with more cards, you get to do more things, and you don't have to sit there for 50 minutes and just lose a game because of something you did on turn three. Like,
It's incredible. Yeah, how those turn three plays do sort of change the course of the game in that classic constructed format. But yeah,
yeah,
Blitz, man, such a good time. Like I had a game against old mate Marnie the other day, Wizard Mirror, and
yeah.
it was a good time. We both of us took about 10, 15 minutes in the tank on turn one, and then turn two, the other wizard was dead, and I was that wizard. Great format.
So we'll start calling Marnie Harry Potter there. Eh?
Yeah, he's pretty good with the old zap to the face. Hey,
Pretty powerful. Yeah.
oh man, it's. Did you see that Etherize? That card came out today. The first counter
Oh,
spell.
I'm just dreading the moment we get like a counter target attack action. I'm sitting there going Crippling Crush with Dominate, and they're like, no. I'm just
You
going
might
to
have to
sit there
pick
and
up
cry.
the counter spells again.
Oh, mate, if that happens, like, don't get me wrong, I think they're needed. I just hope that they don't become overused.
Yeah, I've got a feeling the balance will be very well done.
Yeah, I mean, I got a bit of faith that the guys at Legend Stories know what they're doing. So, they've done everything right so far.
Yeah, it is pretty mind-boggling how good they are at this balancing of cards, etc., things like that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's think. 2025. Where are we? Are we at the World Champs? Are we Flesh and Blood? Flesh and Blood in 5 years. Where do you fit in, and what do you think the game's gonna look like?
Oh, I think I'll still be asking the missus if I can go out, but probably still playing Guardian. But I'm
Nice,
hoping
nice.
4 or 5 years from now that the game's gone massive, and hopefully I'm a bit of a nobody because there's like really good players up there doing like everything right. Then I can sit there and be like, I want to be one of those guys. But time will
That's
tell.
a good approach. I like it.
But, no, I think it'll be interesting. COVID has really thrown like a bit of a spanner in the works in that. But no, I think the game's got the potential to go massive, and I just hope that when it gets to that point, that I am one of the players that's there.
Yeah, man. I think at this rate, you keep doing what you're doing, and that living legend status for Bravo, Showstopper is very likely going to happen, and your name is going to be next to it.
So we just need a Dash to be banned first for that to happen, eh?
Yeah, well, I think Matt's doing a pretty good job so far, isn't he?
Mate, ban Matt.
Yeah, there has been some discussion about the human version of the living legend ban, hasn't there?
Oh, mate, he's bloody obsessed. Eh? The way he's doing it, jeez.
Well,
it's like, share some titles for the rest of us, mate.
No way. I've got an open challenge right now to another Matt. If there's a Matt Griffin out there anywhere,
ooh,
you need to come in and sort Matt Rogers out. So there it is. There's the challenge. Hey, our next question. This is real out of nowhere. No one's ever going to guess this answer. But what is your favorite card and what is your favorite hero in all three of the sets which we know cards of first three. Yeah. Who are your favorite cards and heroes? Could be a surprise. I don't know.
Believe it or not, my favorite hero is Kano. More for the personality, I think, just a cheeky little rascal type character. That's
Cool
basically.
Story is that?
Oh, mate, like, if you could see me back when I was like 14 or 15 at high school, sneaking out of my bedroom window at night, that was a bit of me.
Paul's
Like,
told me a few stories.
oh, mate, fuck, just wind people up and. But favorite card, probably yellow disable.
Why yellow?
Mainly it attacks for 8. Don't get me wrong. I think you look at your Command and Conquers and you look at the blue disable and you're like, the auto includes in any deck that can play them. But the yellow disable, you're just on that right number where it's like a card block and then like an equipment, or you're forcing a reaction. Like every way that they have to block that card, it's like beneficial. And I just think all around the card just does enough in every aspect without being great. So
that's cool. Do you say the yellow over the red because like the yellow actually goes in a deck, or
the yellow in particular pitches for 2. So when you've got like a Crippling Crush in the arsenal and you've got a token, Surge token in play, being able to pitch 2 blues and the yellow disable means you can dominate that crippling. If you've got the red, you can't do that. So the yellow for those reasons is why I'm pretty high up on that card. But
cool.
Moving forward, completely unplayable.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of new cards already, and we still haven't seen all of them out of Crucible, have we?
No, not at all. But
hey, this isn't on the pre-approved list of questions, but I imagine you've already thought about this. If you could design a card, what would it be? Don't say you haven't thought about it.
No, there's a couple. Like, I think defense reactions at the moment are pretty awkward. I think everyone playing the zero cost reactions are a bit, every deck plays them, but they're really bad for pitching. They're really bad for utility. I would probably be inclined to create a defense reaction.
It's very Cayle type of card.
Yeah. So it costs 3 and it pitches for 2. And it defends for 4. But when you use that reaction, you draw a card.
Okay.
So the reasoning for that is in Guardian, it's a 3 cost. It pitches so you can still crush, so you can turn on your Blessing, your Anathos, whatever. But the fact is that it just seems like a all-around good card. Effectively replaces itself if you have a 3 cost, meaning that not every deck can just put it in, play it.
That's cool. Yeah, it's very useful. It fits a very possibly specific type of strategy, but it's not too over the top that it couldn't actually be made. So write that one down, Jason. It could be on the list. Who knows?
Oh no, they won't give it to me, mate.
Oh man, that's cool. Hey, it's no secret that you are the expert when it comes to Guardian, and
I don't know. I think there might be a young Jacob Pearson that's trying to go for that title.
Never heard of him.
Neither.
A lot of people have a lot of questions about Guardian, about Bravo. If you could kind of condense everything, give 1 or 2 minutes of tips, advice, and guidance to all of the budding showstoppers out there, what would you like to say to all of the Guardian players on the globe, globe?
Okay. I've watched quite a few different people play Guardian, and one thing I notice is that they get in this mindset that they have to attack every turn. Like, if your opponent is blowing their load by playing out the Surging Strike combo or something, you don't, but don't be afraid to just defend with your whole hand and just reset. Like, you don't have to attack every turn. Like, I've gone 6-7 turns in a row without attacking. If they burn all their gas, you get to the end of the game, they're pitching blues, and at that point you can just take the hit, and then you can just hit back harder.
Some long-term thinking sort of stuff.
Oh, if you want to call it that, yeah. But just you got to pick your moment.
So. That's nice. That's very cool. And we mentioned very briefly a bit earlier on, about how amazing this community is. And anything just before we head off that you want to say to the Flesh and Blood fans around the world in general?
Oh, yeah, just don't be scared to do something different, eh? Like, if you see a deck list and think that's the final thing, like, you just got to try something different. I mean, this last Arcane Rising format, the fact that Runeblade, Wizard, and Azalea didn't get played, like, there's something wrong there. Like, aggro Runeblade is a tier 1 deck.
Yeah.
Wizard is by far, like, the best deck if you don't make a mistake.
It's hard to not make mistakes in Flesh and Blood.
I think the biggest spoiler is that if the format is balanced, with those two decks represented, defense reactions drop off. Azalea actually becomes a tier 1 deck.
Yeah. Oh man, it's very exciting.
It's a big call. It's a big call.
Yeah, far out. Well, I've got another guest lined up later on in the next couple of days who has released an incredible Ranger card to the world. So I'll be asking that young man about their thoughts, a little bit more about Ranger later on. But any final words before I've got a Hearthstone tournament coming up soon. Don't tell anyone. Terrible game. It's totally luck-based. Anything before we go?
Play Guardian.
And Hearthstone?
No, just play Guardian.
That's a good class. Cool.
Like, Guardian's seen no love in the last set. Somebody's got to play it. That's not Jacob.
Oh, nice. Well, I look forward to being dooted and watching a whole lot of dooting. Is that a thing?
Why'd you have to doot me like that, bro?
Oh, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you do.
Don't
I think it's getting late, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hey, thank you so much, my bro. You are one of the greatest dudes that I know on and off the battlefield, and I really appreciate the time.
No worries, mate. Anytime.
Take care. I'd say I'll see you soon, but I'm not going to see you face to face for a while, so take care.
You might see me on Please 10-7.
Well, I shouldn't laugh because. All right, take care, and I'll see you on the internet.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Thanks, Cayle.